Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses. Today I got a little tip for you, or at least what I do, and hope it helps you guys out. So when I am roping, I like a metal Honda on the end of my rope. One reason I like that is there's several reasons, but one of them is it releases a little faster. Yeah, I just like the way it feels. And then the other thing is it's a little bit easier to replace. You can retie the Honda loop on the end of your rope if you want to, but it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and actually probably tying this knot isn't super easy, but for me it's a little easier than tying the new Honda on there. And then you gotta either put a speed burner on there or some sort of rawhide burner so that it doesn't wear through the rope. And so I just like the metal Hondas. Anyway, there's a little termination knot there on the end, and it's called, what I use is, you can use a Turk's head. I use a Mathew Walker knot is the knot that I prefer to use on there, a little termination knot. And so the other day I was roping, and my rope, the wear on the rope will happen in that first foot or two by the Honda. So what happens is when that rope starts rubbing, as it gets tight, it's going to start rubbing with more friction on the Honda. So as it comes tight around the feet or around the head of the cow when you're roping it, that rope is going to be, yay big on a neck, and then, that big on a foot or two. And so all the wear is going to happen right there. So the rope is starting to get a little frayed, and this is actually one that it broke off a few days ago when I was roping something, and I needed to finish the job, so I just tied it into a little bowline on the end of it, and then finished my job. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Honda and put it back on there. So first thing you want to do is slide your Honda on there first. Nothing worse than getting that knot tied on there and then realizing your Honda isn't on there, and you have to slide it from the other end of the rope. So I just stick it on there first. So there's that, and then I put a little piece of tape right there. That's where I'm going to tie my new knot. And all this rope here is suspect. It's got a little bit of wear on it, and this is back where it's in pretty good shape right in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unravel this, and then I've already put some tape on the end that keeps it from unraveling very much. Unravel it to here, and then I'm going to tie my walker knot, and then I'm going to get it all cinched down, tightened up, and then I can have my new rope again. I'll kind of show you a few steps in the process. And like I say, just one of those things that if you're roping a lot and you kind of want to have a metal Honda on there, this is something that you're probably going to want to learn. It allows you to kind of cut the worn end off of your rope, slide your Honda back, put that new knot on there, go back to work, and you don't have to worry about it breaking right there when that thing starts to get kind of wore out. So anyway, I'll show you how to do it. There's several videos on YouTube on how to tie this knot. They're all pretty good. I don't know how easy it'll be to see on here, but basically you cross every one over the next one, so they all look like a little bit of a square there. Okay? And then you're gonna start at one end, and then it's gonna go over this one, under this one, around this one, and then back up through the middle. So you're just gonna start with one, rotate that around. This one's gonna go there and up through the middle. That one's gonna go there and up through the middle. one's gonna go there and up through the middle. Now all of them are coming up through the middle. Now we're just gonna slowly kind of work those pieces down, get them all tightened up. And we call it dressing the knot. Starting to look like a little something there. We'll tighten it back down a little bit more, and then we'll show you how to really cinch her down tight. Okay, we got her cinched down pretty good, pretty snug. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put a little oil on it. I like to put a little WD-40 on there, just it kind of helps everything kind of slip and slide and pieces to get to where they need to be. So before I tighten everything down really tight, I just spray it down with a little bit of WD-40. It's not really necessary, but kind of helps me. So anyway, we got that pretty well coated. What I'm gonna do is I've got a hole drilled here in my little board. So I'm gonna take these pieces and I'm gonna stick them through there, and then that way we can pry against the wood and get all those pieces down there. Okay, got them all strung through the hole. You can use any kind of pry bar or whatever you want. I use a little shoeing hammer because it's what I have. So you'll take each individual string. I just wrap it around there a few times. You can kind of curl that up there like that. Then just give her a little pry. Don't want to do each string very hard. Just work them, each one of them a little bit. What we'll do is we'll go around that 2 or 3 times, and that'll kind of help cinch that knot up there on the back side. There, we got them all cinched down. Got that knot all ready to go. We're gonna pull it back through just a little bit and kind of square that knot up just a little bit, and it'll be ready to go. And we can put our Honda back on there. And what we'll do is we'll cut these off, burn them just a little bit, melt the ends, and our knot will be ready to go, and we can go back to using our rope. Okay, so what I did is I just cut that rope off. That's about 1/4 inch. I melted it with my little lighter, and then I just kind of molded those over. I just pushed it against a piece of metal and got them kind of soft and pliable, and then smoothed them over so there's no sharp edges. And yeah, turned out pretty good. Not quite as even as sometimes they turn out, but yeah, definitely good enough for what we're gonna do. Slide my Honda back on there, and we're ready to go roping. So yeah, it's just a little tip. Like I say, I kind of like being able to use a metal Honda. These metal Hondas last you 4 or 5 ropes. Like you'll wear a bunch of ropes out before you wear one of the metal Hondas out. So it's kind of nice. It's a reusable thing. So anyway, if you guys are using them, it's kind of handy not to know. There's also a little story that goes behind the double Mathew Walker knot, and a pretty cool little story. So I'll make a video about that. But it's a pretty cool deal. And a lot of times when we're roping and stuff, we'll talk about the double Mathew Walker story. So anyway, hope this tip helps. Remember, we're all trying to be the person our horse deserves. Catch you later.